as if it's something amazing. We're finally a very special place. Really expensive in Moscow is. Guys, so welcome to a very special episode. This time I'm going to be talking about how life is like through the eyes of a foreigner, through my eyes, living in Moscow in 2023. And I'm going to really see if life has actually changed after the imposition of the back-breaking sanctions by Europe. We're going to start by going to the bars, the shops, see the prices, ask the people how they're living, and just show you the beauty of my city.
Who's this? Who's that? Yeah. Who's this? Who's that? Yeah. Who's this? Who's that? Yeah.
Well, as you see, guys, we're not very lucky with the weather, but I mean, it's just a normal Moscow day in spring. Cloudy, rainy, gray, but you can always get warm in a bar or somewhere else. So you see, guys, these are Russian buses. Solid, just how you're supposed to make them. Look, it's in my way. Now guys, I want to show you one of my favorite parts of Moscow. Now this is one of the most beautiful things in the world, and it's part of the Moscow's transportation system, the metro. Each station looks as if it's a museum or an art gallery. So one ticket in the metro costs about $1. Now another great thing about the Moscow metro is these are very deep metro stations. I mean, literally in some metro station it takes minutes on the escalator to reach the bottom of the stairs. And it's like, I asked a lot of people why they've got such deep metro station. It's in case of a nuclear catastrophe or a nuclear war, so that all the population of the city can just be based underground, away from the nuclear radiation. And that is very cool. Now, whenever I'm in the Moscow metro, I feel like I'm in a museum or an art gallery. These are just so beautiful. They've got, everything's made out of marble. I mean, just look at the walls. Everything's marble, bronze, and some of the metro stations are even gold plated. Like, that's just crazy. Look at each of these statues. Like, we've got the worker right here in honor of, I'm gonna say this in honor of May Day, because today is the 1st of May. The whole world is celebrating Labor Day. And then we've got the soldier, we've got the scientist right over here. And of course, at the end of the hallway, we've got Vladimir Lenin on the mural. And that's just beautiful. The best thing about the Moscow metro is that you can get from point A to point B very fast. Like, now Moscow is a huge city. It takes about 1 hour to reach from one end to another end, maybe even more, like 1.5 hours. And the Moscow metro is the most efficient way to reach that, because I mean, on the roads it's just hell, because the traffic jams are just crazy. You can just wait for hours on the road just trying to get way. But in the metro there's no such problem. You get to your destination very easily. At the same time, the metro is actually very, very clean. The people are very quiet. Nobody's screaming here except me. This is a city that keeps growing. Every year they add a few stations at the end of each line around Moscow. I mean, that's the only city I've seen that is growing each year. It's basically alive. Like, I was in Prague, I was in Amsterdam, and these cities are dead. Because I mean, they're stagnant, they're not growing, the population is stable, and people are increasing. I mean, the population is actually increasing, but there's no space. But around Moscow, they're just building the whole city even more. And I don't know, I just feel that this city is alive. Now I want to talk to you about a very interesting Moscow tradition. Whenever you're at the Red Square station, you see this dog. Now you see this is all rusted out bronze, but this part is still shiny. That's because all the Moscow people, they rub the nose of the dog, and that's for good luck. I mean, I don't know how this tradition started, but I mean, this is a very nice tradition. I always rub the nose of the dog polish it a bit, just for good luck. Now look at that, guys. You see, Benetton is still working. The sanctions failed. We've still got Rolex, we've still got Rolls-Royce. What else do you need? Guys, we're gonna go to a very interesting place, to a Russian enterprise, and they renamed it to Vkusna и точка, which literally translates into tasty and that's it. This is actually the first McDonald's that they opened after the fall of the Soviet Union. There were huge lines of people just waiting to see how this American burger tastes, because in the Soviet Union they didn't have McDonald's or KFC and stuff like that, and they really thought, wow, that they're missing something big. For us, it's nothing special. McDonald's is in every corner of every shithole, and the poorest people actually go to those places who cannot really afford to go to expensive restaurants. I wouldn't even call it food, but at that time they were like, yeah, looks good. As if it's something amazing, but it's still garbage. That, my ladies and gentlemen, is a shithole, but we will taste it. I'm sacrificing my health for the content of this channel. I wouldn't actually do it. I never go to McDonald's. Okay, this is not McDonald's. This is Vkusna и точка, tasty and that's it. The Russian version. Maybe that makes it slightly better, but we'll find out. I got a chicken burger and cola, nuggets, $7 for a burger and nuggets and a drink. Now, let's see how they taste. Which is actually quite good. I like the taste. The nuggets, they just melt in your mouth. They're so delicious. And now, so this is what they call in Russia Dobry Kola. Since February the 24th, most of the companies left Russia, and so did Coca-Cola. But what's interesting is that this Dobry Kola is made in the same factory where they make Coca-Cola. So literally there's not a difference, there's no difference at all. They just changed the name. The first time that I was in a McDonald's is when I was a child. I was 13 years old. Me and my mom went to the big city, and it was delicious. I must say it was delicious, but my mom didn't like me going to McDonald's because she knew at the time it was super unhealthy, but it was super tasty. And even now, this Vkusna и точка, or tasty and that's it, or whatever you want to call it, it's really, really tasty. I've been to McDonald's in many countries. I've been to the one in Zurich. Believe me, that was the best McDonald's I ever had in my life. At the same time, it was the most expensive McDonald's in the world. It was like $10 for a small burger. I don't know why. I'm not the biggest fan of McDonald's, as you probably would have heard already. At the same time, I must say that it is very tasty, and that's it. So guys, this right here is Stars Coffee. Now, Starbucks also left Russia, so Timothy, a very famous Russian singer, bought out the franchise, and now we're gonna test how good they make coffee. Even the logo is very similar. The green and the woman and everything. Bad Russian. Говорите по-английски? Yes, I speak English. Do you have like a cold coffee?
Yeah.
Which cold coffee do you have? I don't read Russian. I have a problem with Russian. If you can just advise me which cold coffee, which is a good one.
Latte, cappuccino.
The cold one.
Yeah.
All right, can I have a cold latte? How much is it?
355.
355. So one cold coffee or a cold latte is about $5. I don't remember what the prices were in the original Starbucks, but I think they were similar. For a nice latte, it's very good. I didn't visit Starbucks that often. When it was actually Starbucks, but I mean, I don't think it has really changed. I still got some iced lattes back then. It tastes similar. All in all, what I want to say is life in Russia hasn't really changed that much ever since the imposition of all the sanctions. I mean, okay, McDonald's became Vkusvill, Starbucks became Stars Coffee. The prices on imported goods increased significantly, but I mean, life still hasn't really changed. You don't feel the difference here that much. All right, I cannot go to the BMW showroom and buy a BMW for the same price that I could have 2 years ago. Of course not, because they're not supplying us with BMW or any other Western car maker or their car parts. Car parts, of course, their prices have significantly increased. But I mean, you can survive quite easily without all these things. And I don't drive a car, I use public transportation, so I mean, I don't even give a shit about not receiving the car parts on time or their prices increasing. Of course, some very bad things are happening, some tragic things are happening everywhere around the world, but such is life. That is the reality of the situation everybody is in. But life still goes on. We still can go and have a nice Stars coffee, we can still go and have a nice Vkusvill burger, and you know, wait for a sunny day. Summer is gonna come soon. Very popular chain of shops in Moscow is called Vkusvill. They've got very good quality products. It's not a middle class shop, it's quite good. Potatoes cost around 88 rubles per kilo. I mean, these are different types of potatoes at different prices, but the average price of a kilogram of potatoes is about $1. Onion is just more, maybe $1.10 a kilogram. Very nice apples, about $2 a kilogram. Guys, I'm going to show you how much eggs cost in this country. This is $1 for a full box of 12 eggs. It's super cheap. I mean, in the US right now, I mean, they've got an egg crisis going on in the UK, in the US, there are no eggs. They're paying about $10, $15 for a carton of eggs. That's just retarded. Now, we're at the frozen meat section. Sausages, normal sausages, they also cost about $1, $2. Now, this bacon is a bit expensive. It's about $4, 150 grams. I mean, not too bad, but this is very good quality bacon. I eat it with breakfast almost every day. Normal cheese is about $2, $3 for about 200 grams, and it's really good cheese. This is the tea that I always buy, Earl Grey, and a box of 50 grams of Earl Grey is about $4 or $5. Now, this is loose leaf tea, very high quality, so I think it might be a bit expensive for the average consumer, but I really prefer this tea. 250 grams of good ground coffee is about 350 rubles, which comes out to around $5, $4, something like that. Not very expensive, maybe. I don't know, maybe it's expensive. A full bottle of cooking oil, 1 liter of cooking oil is also about $1 or $2, something like that, depending on which type of oil. Now come to the bread section. Normal bread, good sandwich bread, is about $1 for a pack of bread. I mean, just look at the various types of bread that they have. Like this is also about $1 of brown bread. This is black rye bread. I mean, I think it's rye bread. We've got a lot of tortillas to make Mexican food. Pretzels, also about $1 or $1 for a big pack of pretzels. And one thing that I found really expensive in Moscow is the prices of tomatoes. That's just crazy expensive. Just look, a kilogram of nice red tomatoes is about 400 rubles or 500 rubles or 350 rubles. That's more than $5 a kilo. That's really, really expensive. In India, you can buy tomatoes for about a kilo of tomatoes for less than $1 probably. Now for my favorite part, the spice section. Now the very big difference between the spice section in Indian shops and in Russian shops is the size difference. Like in India, we have a huge spice section and they're very cheap. But in Moscow, just for a pack of 15 grams of spice is about $1 or $0.50, which is crazy expensive. It's just 15 grams. For the same amount of money, you can buy probably a kilogram of the same spice. But other than that, there is not a very big difference. Just look at the nice Lambo. Yep, the sanctions have affected us. As you can see, that the weather isn't our friend today. It's cloudy and it's raining, but it's not pouring. That's what I'm happy about. That's why we're gonna cut this walk a bit short and stop by in one of my favorite bars, have a nice beer. I'm gonna ask my friend, the cameraman, to have a beer as well. He's a bit tense right now. I think a beer will help him relax and become a better cameraman for finally. And we have to cross the road. This is a very important road of Moscow because this whole area is the Bauman-Basmanna area. This was the German quarter of Moscow during the Russian Empire, and most of the foreigners lived in these areas. It's a very old region of Moscow, and I just love the fact that it's got all these small imperial European buildings, and it's just a pleasure to walk around this area and have a drink. We're finally reached a very special place where we can really have a nice drink, relax, and talk. Hey, I want you to pause the video right now and hit that subscribe button. We need your help, guys. We're trying to make all this content for you. And if you hit the subscribe button, you'll be helping me a lot. So those are all the beers that they're selling in this place. A normal lager is about 350 rubles, right? It's also about $3-4. It's really not expensive. And then you've got a nice IPA, which is around 450 rubles, which it comes out to be around $5-6. And I mean, these are the prices around here. They're not that expensive and they haven't changed, especially with beer. Can I have a beer, please? Maybe an IPA, India Pale Ale. Which one is it? Number
2, number 4.
A light one, maybe.
Number 2.
Number 2?
Medium.
And how much is it? 380 rubles? Yeah. All right, can I have number 2, please? Thank you. So yeah, I mean, I just ordered an IPA, the India Pale Ale. Not just because it has India in it, but because I like ale. And it's about 380 rubles, which is about $4. And I mean, I've been coming to bars in Moscow for the last 6 years. The prices really haven't changed. I mean, this is the average price in a nice bar downtown Moscow. It's about $4 or $5 a beer, which is not that bad. I mean, I was in Zurich once, and a beer in Zurich costed me more than $10 a bottle, which was mind-blowingly expensive for me. Spasiba. Cheers. Very tasty beer. extremely good local beer. And to be honest, I like to buy local produce because I mean I'm living in Moscow for such a long time. I don't see really the point why I should buy imported products because we've got everything here. We've got good beer, good food, and it's really high quality, really tasty. And you should always support the local economy instead of, you know, just sending your money outside the country buying imported stuff. And why not? Yeah. I really like the shape of the glasses in this bar. I mean, they're shaped like a beer can, but they're actually like glass. And really nice feeling. Well guys, I just finished my beer and unfortunately this video is coming to an end. I mean, and also unfortunately the weather wasn't the best today and I would have really liked to show you Moscow in nice sunny weather, but today we were just not lucky with the weather. But definitely visit the channel, check out our other videos. I've traveled a lot more in Russia and I think you're gonna really like the content that we've produced. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and I'm gonna see you next time. Cheers.